1 week later, the scene shifted deep into the jungle where Sandy and Veniel were desperately fighting against waves of poisonous insects. Every slash from Sandy's blade cut through the creatures while their loud groans echoed through the forest. Frustration burned across his face as he yelled about what kind of place they had ended up in. Veniel, already irritated from the endless battle, shouted at him to stop yelling and focus on fighting instead. Sandy immediately warned him to keep moving his hands as more poisonous insects swarmed toward them. Together, they continued slaughtering the deadly creatures without pause. As the battle raged on, the scene smoothly shifted toward another edge of the jungle where Edge and Lily were also fighting side by side against the same endless swarm of poisonous insects. Edge complained that the enemies never stopped coming and that they had been fighting non-stop for an entire week. Lily let out a tired sigh and admitted that she was completely fed up with all the chaos surrounding them. Hearing that, Edge chuckled loudly and agreed with her. At that moment, a poisonous ant rushed directly toward Edge. Without hesitation, he sliced the creature cleanly in half. Nearby, Leica launched her own attack against the swarm of ants. She activated the technique of the great immense net of inevitable lightning. A massive thunderstrike burst across the battlefield, filling the entire area with blinding flashes of lightning. The powerful technique wiped out countless poisonous ants in an instant. After the attack ended, Leica wiped the sweat from her face and checked on everyone around her, asking if they were all okay. Watching her closely, Edge smiled quietly to himself. Deep down, he wondered whether she could keep moving after repeatedly using such a powerful technique. He also hoped that she was not pushing herself too hard, simply because she carried the responsibility of being the leader. The group continued struggling through the dangerous forest when Sandy suddenly exploded in frustration. She could not understand how anyone was supposed to think the situation was acceptable. In her eyes, the entire place felt like a complete disaster, and she began wondering if every crack was this horrible. Leica calmly explained that not all cracks were the same. Each crack connected to a different kind of chaotic world, meaning the dangers varied depending on where it led. However, Sandy remained furious and continued venting her anger without restraint. Seeing her reaction, Edge casually remarked that they had simply been unlucky this time. He also teased Sandy by pointing out how much she hated insects. That only made Sandy even angrier, and she immediately started hitting Edge in frustration. Leica quickly stepped in and tried to calm her down before things escalated further. After finally settling herself, Sandy puffed her cheeks in annoyance and admitted that complaining would not end the mission anyway. Edge quietly laughed to himself and felt fortunate that Leica was there to keep the situation under control. Even so, Edge admitted that he desperately wanted to escape the forest as soon as possible. At that moment, Veniel noticed that the direction of the wind had changed. Based on that, he realized the exit should finally be nearby. Sandy immediately warned him not to come close while still covered in disgusting insect body fluids. Veniel calmly insisted that he was not lying. After all, he had spent an entire week listening to Sandy screaming non-stop throughout the forest. The moment Sandy heard that the end was near, her entire mood changed instantly, and she declared that everything was fine now as long as they were almost out. Veniel became visibly irritated and internally complained that dealing with her was a complete headache. Meanwhile, Leica encouraged everyone to move forward together. She urged the group to take advantage of the opportunity and finally escape the forest once and for all. Soon after, the group finally spotted the way out. Seeing the exit, Sandy immediately became excited and happily celebrated the fact that they would finally be free from those disgusting insects. Her loud laughter echoed through the forest as the group finally approached freedom. Just as the group finally began relaxing after escaping the forest, Sandy's smile suddenly disappeared the moment she noticed a massive pillar of light rising into the sky ahead of them. Confused by the strange sight, she immediately questioned what it could possibly be. Edge quickly realized that the area ahead looked just as dangerous as the forest they had barely escaped from. At the same time, Veniel's companion recognized the phenomenon and explained that it was the same pillar of light they had seen earlier while falling from the sky. Lily then confirmed that they were definitely getting closer to their destination. Leica carefully observed the pillar before asking Edge if he had also realized what that light truly was. Edge finally admitted that after coming this far, the answer had become obvious. The pillar of light was coming from the Chaos Stone their instructor had previously warned them about. As that realization sank in, the scene shifted back to several days earlier, right before the team departed to conquer the special rift located in front of Eldragon headquarters. Before sending them off, the instructor reminded everyone that simply retrieving the magic water would not be enough to complete the mission. The students immediately acknowledged the explanation. Leica then added that properly conquering a rift also required closing it completely. The instructor confirmed that she was correct. To close the rift, they would need to destroy the Chaos Stone, which served as the source of the rift itself. Hearing the term, Zeke recalled seeing information about Chaos Stones in a book before. Edge then explained that the Chaos Stone was a special mineral believed to create cracks between worlds. Zeke quickly realized that the stone itself was essentially the origin of every rift. The instructor agreed, but clarified that the Chaos Stone was far more dangerous than just a simple source. He then showed them an image of a horrifying creature from a book and explained the true nature of the Chaos Stone. According to him, the stone itself represented the threat of the rift. It constantly released enormous amounts of energy in order to maintain the chaotic world connected to the crack. That energy gradually corrupted the ecosystem of the chaotic world and transformed living creatures into beings of chaos. The only instinct possessed by those corrupted creatures was slaughter. They endlessly repeated the cycle of killing, invading worlds, and consuming them entirely. Once a world was destroyed, they searched for new worlds through the cracks, so they could begin invading again. Hearing the explanation, Zeke admitted that the Chaos Stone sounded unbelievably dangerous. Sandy, however, became more concerned about the mission itself. She pointed out that finding both the magic water and the Chaos Stone sounded extremely complicated. But while looking through the book, Edge noticed something important. He explained that the task might not actually be as difficult as it sounded, because the magic water was naturally generated near the Chaos Stone itself. Back during the briefing before the mission began, the instructor had explained that the first priority was to locate the Chaos Stone itself. He warned the students that although the characteristics of each Chaos Stone varied greatly, they all shared one common trait. Every Chaos Stone emitted an overwhelmingly intense amount of energy that could be recognized instantly once someone got close enough. Remembering those words in the present, Vanille realized that their path had now become simple. From that point onward, all they had to do was continue moving toward the source of the Pillar of Light. His companion immediately agreed with that conclusion. As the group continued forward together, Laika quietly noticed something unusual. For once, Vanille and his companion were actually discussing the mission normally instead of constantly insulting each other. Meanwhile, Edge commented that the situation would have been perfect if they had also managed to reunite with Zeke. Laika became slightly worried and hoped that Zeke had also noticed the Chaos Stone somewhere nearby. However, Vanille showed no concern at all and impatiently insisted that they should just keep moving forward. Lily quietly observed that Vanille actually seemed worried despite pretending otherwise. As they continued traveling, Sandy noticed something strange about the area around them. Unlike the forest from earlier, not a single insect could be seen anywhere. Lily immediately admitted that she was relieved because the endless insects had completely exhausted her. Even so, Edge remained cautious. He reminded everyone that powerful chaos creatures heavily influenced by the energy of the Chaos Stone were said to exist near it. Laika admitted that hearing that was honestly a little frightening. She warned everyone not to lower their guard and encouraged the group to keep moving carefully. After traveling for some time without encountering any danger, Laika became surprised that they had managed to arrive safely without anything happening. Soon after, Vanille's companion finally laid eyes on the Chaos Stone itself and immediately sensed how sinister its presence felt. Lily was shocked by its massive size. Meanwhile, Sandy seemed oddly disappointed. She had expected terrifying monsters to appear guarding the area, yet nothing had shown up at all. Sensing that something still felt wrong, Laika quickly urged everyone to hurry up. With everyone finally gathered together, the students combined their strength and successfully destroyed the massive Chaos Stone. Right after the stone shattered, Zeke suddenly appeared before the group. The moment everyone saw him safely arrive, a wave of relief spread across the team. Laika happily realized that the entire group had finally reunited at last. Zeke also expressed his relief after confirming that everyone else had survived safely. Laika quickly noted that despite everything, it seemed like everyone had managed to make it through alive. However, Vanille immediately reacted with irritation, pointing out that none of them actually looked okay after what they had endured. Lily agreed and admitted that the entire group looked completely exhausted and battered. After observing them more carefully, Zeke awkwardly realized they might have a point. Then everyone suddenly noticed the corpse of a massive poisonous beetle nearby. The horrifying sight terrified the group, especially Sandy. Edge instantly realized that this creature was probably the powerful chaos monster they had been warned about earlier. He then looked toward Zeke and wondered if he had been the one who defeated it. Zeke casually explained that the creature had attacked him first, leaving him with little choice but to kill it. Hearing that explanation, Laika finally understood why they had encountered no chaos creatures on their journey toward the Chaos Stone. Zeke then admitted that he believed he had defeated something extremely dangerous earlier. However, his attention had quickly shifted toward the giant rock itself, which was why he had remained there waiting for the others to arrive. Edge immediately confirmed that the giant rock was without question the Chaos Stone. Soon after, Laika finally discovered the magic water nearby. Seeing it, Zeke became excited and noted that there was even more magic water present than the original report had claimed. However, Edge explained that the magic water only worked if a certain amount was properly consumed. Because of that, The quantity they found would probably only be enough for a small number of people. Sandy immediately lost patience and insisted that they should quickly collect the magic water and finish the mission already. Leica then carefully examined the liquid and explained that the color of magic water normally determined which magical attribute a person could use. However, this particular magic water appeared transparent, or rather strangely colorless compared to normal examples. Edge admitted that despite its unusual appearance, he was still certain it was genuine magic water. Vanille showed little interest in the discussion and simply stated that none of that mattered to him. At that moment, Zeke suddenly pulled Leica aside as if he had sensed something nearby. Then, without warning, a man wearing a long coat appeared alongside several subordinates and launched an attack toward the group. As he arrived, he mockingly remarked that they had done well cornering the little lizard for him. In response, Zeke smirked calmly, realizing that their hidden enemies had finally decided to reveal themselves at last.